Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a while, like really while. I think the last video I made was I was also here sa Zambales and nahirapan na ako mag-vlog. Yun nga, the last video was around January and after that, hindi na ako nakapag-vlog for a couple of reasons. So, life update, ano ba, catch up ba? Hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin kong vlog, but I feel like I should vlog kasi sobrang tagal na. It's already July, so kung tutusin, 7 to 8 months already since the last na nag-vlog ako. For those who doesn't know me, I am Stephanie and I used to be an incoming first-year medical student at Beda University. Basically, what I do is, aside from vlogging about my life, I also do med school vlogs pero nahinto siya for a while. Even if yun nga, sobrang inactive ko with vlogging, still receive messages from people na which books did I use daw or I am using that is helpful. So siguro, ito na lang muna yung vlog natin for today. I-share ko sa inyo yung mga books na nakatulong sa akin. I have physical copies of the books, but they're very expensive. So what I do is I buy reprints. Sometimes ako yung nagpiprint, pero most of the time naka-PDF pa din ako. I use my laptop to read those books kasi sa iPad medyo nahihirapan ako. Though it's very convenient to use your iPad naman when it comes to highlighting or writing notes. Pero it really depends kasi on the subjects. So first muna siguro is I enumerate the subjects we have for first year here in Beda. So we have Physiology, Anatomy, Biochemistry, Histology, Neuroscience I, Psychiatry I, Family Community Medicine, which we take for a semester lang. And then for the second semester, we take naman the Medical Research I. We also have Practice of Medicine. And this is very trivial kasi sa school namin, we have Theology, Theo 1, 2, and 3. For first year, I've already talked about this in my other vlogs and my vlog with Chinoy MD. If you guys, most likely, if dun nyo ako nakita, you'd know that I already said na we actually have this one subject a week set up. Personally, since every 5 weeks nagkakaroon ng long exams, medyo okay siya sa ibang subjects, but there are subjects na nahihirapan ako. Like for example, for Physiology, kasi usually one module, one long exam. But for Physio kasi sometimes it's 2 to 3 modules per long exam. Kaya medyo nahihirapan ako na kasi sobrang daming aaralin. But I am here right now to tell you guys which books are helpful. And although sasabihin din naman to during your orientation kung ano yung mga books na gagamitan, but if you're very excited with med school and you want to do advanced study or gusto niyo mag-prepare as early as now kasi it's already July, and if I'm not mistaken, usually September ang start ng first year sa Beda. For Physiology, the main book that we use is Guyton and Hall. The department provides handouts, but sometimes, if you feel na kulang yung handouts or may hindi kayo maintindihan, you can always read Guyton and Hall for your reference. You can also use si Ganong, Constanzo, or the BRS Physiology. Personally, I use BRS Physiology if medyo nagmamadali na ako or nagka-cram. You also have to make sure that you already have the background of what you're studying kasi it's like notes, para siyang naka-note-taking, and as we know naman, note-taking tends to be very personal na paminsan ikaw lang talaga yung nakakaintindi. For MSGDs, during clinical cases, it's nice that you actually read Harrison's. Doon yung mga cases. Anatomy naman, PowerPoints are given naman. But if you want to do extra readings, usually for clinical, we use more. The blue boxes there, yun yung mga high yield. Personally, I just read the PowerPoints, the handouts, or if ever your batch, gagawa kayo ng trans, paminsan nagtatrans ako. I rarely read books, only when needed lang talaga kasi honestly, in med school, you have to use your time wisely. For cadavers, PowerPoints are given during laboratories, and in my experience here, Before, kasi purely online yung lab, nung 2024 ako. But even if I didn't finish the entire year nung second sem, never sila nagkaroon ng face-to-face activities. So, luckily for us, ngayon sa 2025, yung second sem namin, nakapag face-to-face kami, we took the anatomy lab exam. There in campus, we finally saw cadavers. But the thing is, we weren't given a chance to dissect. I think it will be a different experience if you get to dissect. Though I still found it very interesting when I finally saw the cadavers. Pero yun lang, there were models, cadavers, but of course, remember guys, when you see one, you have to respect it, okay? Wala, I think it's something that I should, pag nakakita kayo, medyo nakakagulat siya at first. Pero yun. So anyways, like I said, if you want more references na cadavers, you can use the MacMin. Usually, there are PDFs of it online, but due to copyright issues, kasi syempre, cadaver photos, so yung mga nakukuhaan kong free sites, I think I could share also a link kung saan ako nakapag-download ng mga PDF ko. Parang, I think they took it down na. Pero yung iba naman, nandun pa rin sa pinupuntahan kong website. We also use Netter. So for biochemistry, the main reference is Harper's, but it tends to be very technical that even I, na undergrad yung biochem, nahihirapan akong basahin. So what I use is Lippincott. Lippincott, it's very easy to read and malalaki yung font niya, so na-enjoy ko siyang basahin. USMLE is also helpful for other topics in biochemistry. And nakikita ko sa mga references ng mga doctors, they also use Mark's Biochemistry. For histology, the histology department, they also give PowerPoints. Actually, all of them naman are providing PowerPoints. This department of histology, sobrang ganda nung mga PowerPoints. And for lectures, they also put other photos that we can use to review for laboratory exams. Our main reference here is Juncaira or Junquera. Depends on how you're gonna say it. But if you want to see more photos, you can use Wheaters. Yeah, Wheater. And alam ko meron din atang Netter na ginagamit. But, if you really want to see na yung mga under the slides talaga, you can always check Google for it. Kasi syempre yung mga nakikita nyo sa book, yun yung mga magagandang pictures. For the lectures, I just use the handouts provided by the doctors. And how I study lab kasi, since I never really took histology nung undergrad, it's also the same for anatomy lab. It's really good if you study lecture properly. Like, you give time to study them kasi the lectures help you understand the laboratory. I mean, that's just for me. This subject kasi, it's very synchronous sila. So sometimes, they provide the PowerPoints with their voiceover, or sometimes they just provide lecture videos without the PowerPoint. Neuroscience is really a bit complicated, but once you get, ayun, pag medyo nag-gets nyo siya kung paano aralin, you'd like it. Like me now, kasi when I was in 2024, I really hated the subject kasi I felt like I couldn't understand it. It's so difficult to study. Tapos given na nga the setup is asynchronous, pa there were times na I'm too lazy to study, or maybe sobrang pagod na ako kasi neuroscience schedule is on the 5th week. So kumbaga, drain ka na. Depende naman din yan kung paano mo gagawin yung pag-aaral mo. So, nung bumalik ako as a 2025, I told myself, no, this subject, parang I should try to appreciate it and try to learn it na in a way na I would understand it. There are gonna be times that you really have to make it. I mean, being in med school requires a lot of efforts, but sometimes there are times that you need more than just the effort that you're giving. Kailangan talaga na, alam mo yung pipiliin mo yung battles mo. Anyway, so for neuroanatomy, what we use is Snell for neuroanatomy. Yung Snell kasi, it's very helpful. Yung reference na ginamit ko to learn and to understand the different pathways. OSCE naman, or receptorials, ang ginamit namin is De Myers. De Myers is like the Bible of the neuro department. like there would be doctors would ask you, you have to define this and that, and your source has to be the Myers. But it's actually a good book. I mean, for me, mas madali ko naiintindihan. Hindi lang niya tinuturo sa'yo kung paano mo gawin. Para it also gives you mga concepts para mas lalo mo siya maintindihan. Depende kasi din yan sa batch nyo if gagawa kayo ng trances or hindi. Pero nakikita ko sa iba pang mga sources sila, gumagamit sila ng Kaplan and Sadox. Ako kasi personally, I just use my PowerPoints and I listen to the lecture like twice or thrice kasi medyo maikli lang naman yung mga lecture videos for psychiatry. Ang ginagamit namin is kay Dr. Leo Pando. It's the book 1. Although PowerPoints are provided in lecture videos kasi asynchronous din siya, but there are parts kasi of the lecture na if you wanted a clear copy, you can read the book, but there's no PDF of it. You really have to buy the physical book. So, para ikaw, kung gusto mo ng libro or depende actually sa magta-trans, kung mayroon silang libro, paminsan pictures lang, it's really up to you naman. And may topics kasi na physical examination. Everything's provided dun sa PowerPoint na binigay naman ni Doc. But if you want more references, you can use Bates. Actually, Bates is helpful not just for FCM, also some parts of practice of medicine. Actually, kasi sa POM naman, the doctors would provide you readings or supplementary readings that you have to, because we don't have long exams. Well, it depends then siguro depende kung anong batch ka, kasi before 2024, alam ko, they were planning to have a long exam sa amin then, but yung naging finals namin was history taking and physical examination. Lecture videos and PowerPoints are provided by Doc. And lastly is for Theo 1, 2, 3. It's just one department pero iba-iba yung magtuturo sa inyo, and PowerPoints are given. Well, nasa discrepancy na rin yung magtuturo sa inyo kung magbibigay ba sila o hindi, kasi sometimes may long exam or may papagawa sila. I hope the books and some of the tips that I shared to you would be helpful for the incoming first years here in San Beda, or even if you're not from San Beda, because sometimes I use references from other schools too.